Should you quit your job if you disagree with company management? So, this is a question that I have gotten multiple times. Everything from a senior leader who doesn't feel like they really have a seat at the table regarding strategy, all the way to a new entrant to the workforce who isn't quite sure about perhaps the mission, or perhaps they don't believe necessarily in the specific management or leadership at the company. And whether or not you disagree with company management doesn't necessarily mean that you have to quit altogether. One of the basic questions to ask yourself is, can you make more of an impact by staying or going? So, something to think about is that if you do quit, sure, it sends a message. However, you're also not there to then work on the issues that might improve what the company is doing. So that senior executive that I mentioned at the very beginning, who was concerned about perhaps not having a seat at the table, when I probed further about what their experience had been regarding certain strategic decisions that went down, as it turned out, this person actually had some influence over some of the strategy. It was just that not all of the decisions went their way. And so as we really looked at what was going on, this person did have a seat at the table. And the fact of the matter was they were more equipped to influence the direction of the company than they were giving themselves credit for. It did so happen that more recently, some of the decisions didn't go their way. And something that they should be thinking about is, do I need to be more persuasive? Does this indicate that there is a change in direction that I should be aware of? And perhaps I need to be looking outside just because I've really come to a fork in the road where I can't make as much of an impact here. But based on everything we've seen, it wasn't that they were getting shut out entirely. Now, contrast this to someone else that asked a similar question. They were a new entrant to this company. And as they looked at what their career path was going to be and what they were working on, which was actually not related necessarily to the mission of the company. They were in a finance role. This is a supporting role. And so they really didn't have influence over the products in the company, over the markets that this company was targeting. And so they weren't enthused. They didn't really believe in what the company was doing at this point, and they could easily apply their financial skills to something else. And so it was less important that they align themselves with this company in particular. And so it made more sense in this case if they really felt like they weren't any longer or never were enthusiastic about what this company was doing, that it would make sense perhaps to go somewhere else where they would be more excited. So similarly, you should be thinking about, where can I make the most impact? If you do disagree with something that the company is doing, if you're finding that perhaps their products or their offerings or their mission is not so fulfilling to you, you might be able to make a change right where you are and influence that mission and perhaps some of those products, perhaps some of that direction. Or you might need to go somewhere else where you can get more excited about what the company's doing.